Thalia.
And my name's Solomon.
And welcome to Trapeze School.
Today is your first flying trapeze lesson. You might feel excited or a little bit nervous, but don't worry. We're going to take it step by step, and your coach is going to guide you every step of the way.
This is the flying trapeze. As you can see, there's a ladder that leads up to a platform which is called the board. From the board, you can reach the trapeze bar. Under the flying trapeze is a giant net. You'll land in the net after every turn.
I like to remind people that especially at the beginning, trapeze is all about the timing. You don't need to have incredible strength or amazing flexibility. You just need to listen closely to the instructions and do them to the best of your ability. It's all about working with the physics of the swing to move at exactly the right time.
We're about to give you a ton of information about the skills you'll be working on in class. But don't worry, you don't need to memorize it all. You'll hear all the same instructions over and over again throughout class.
There's just a few important safety rules that you need to keep in mind.
Rule number 1, never walk under the net. See where the ropes come out to the side and connect to the poles? Those are the spreaders. It's okay to pass underneath those, but it's not a great place to stand. The spreaders and the poles move whenever someone lands in the net.
Rule number 2, leave space for the coach who's holding the safety lines. They will be focused on the student in the air. So we want to make sure they have plenty of space to move around on the ground without tripping or bumping into anyone.
For safety, here are our participation guidelines. All participants must be able to hang from a bar with straight arms for 15 seconds with good muscular alignment and be willing and able to be fitted with a tight safety belt. For flying trapeze, there is a weight limit of 220 pounds.
Okay, now for the fun part. Here's what you'll do in your first flying trapeze class.
When you arrive for class, after getting settled, one of your instructors will put a safety belt on you. It'll feel tight at first, but that's a good thing. It means it's doing its job of keeping you safe.
When it's your turn, you'll head over to the ladder. There's a rope hanging by the ladder, and if you look up, you'll see it's attached to 2 carabiners. These are the ladder lines.
When the ladder lines are no longer attached to the person ahead of you, you can start pulling down the rope. Once you have the carabiners in your hands, you'll clip them onto the metal rings of your belt. The carabiner with the line attached to it always goes on your left side, and the other one goes on your right.
Once you're clipped in, climb on up the ladder. Make sure the straps are in front of your shoulders as you climb, not behind you. When you get to the top, climb all the way up until you're standing. Now take a deep breath and wait for instructions.
Your coach will have you face the riser while they swap your ladder safety lines for flying safety lines. Then your instructor will hold on to the back of your belt and have you step to the edge of the platform. You'll have one hand on the riser and the other straight out in front of you. We'll ask you to start leaning forward from the hips. Keep your chest up, tall and proud. We'll lift the bar up so you can reach it with one hand. It's very tempting in this moment to bend forward, but that will actually make the bar feel much heavier and much farther away. So instead, keep standing up tall and pushing your hips into the belt. We will tell you when to place your second hand on the bar. Without changing your body position, you'll bring your left hand to the bar.
Once you are in this position, the instructor on the board with you will give you 2 cues. The first one is ready. This is a command, not a question. It means bend your knees. Your next cue is hep. Hep is the circus word for go. When you hear hep, you'll take a little bunny hop off the platform. Your feet should come together in front of the platform. You can think of it like jumping into a swimming pool or onto a slide.
Ready? Hop! Ready? Hop!
And you're flying. At this point, you might feel really nervous or excited, and your mind might be going a mile a minute. We want you to try to turn down the volume in your head and tune in to your instructor's voice. Anytime you are on the flying trapeze, your default hanging position should just be hanging straight.
Keep your arms straight.
Shoulders engaged in their sockets, legs straight,
And bring your feet together.
You'll have a very slight arch in your back so that your feet are a little bit behind you. If you have the presence of mind for it, you could even point your toes. Okay, so now we are ready to try a trick on the flying trapeze. We have 2 tricks available for you to try today. Those are the knee hang, which can be a catchable trick, and the backflip dismount. We will learn these piece by piece at a pace that feels comfortable for you, and your instructors will be guiding you each step of the way.
So the first thing we'll work on is the knee hang. Now listen closely for your instructor's voice. The first call you hear from the ground is legs up. That means curl your knees up and hook them on the bar. Make sure to look at the bar so you can see what you're doing. You want the bar to be all the way into the pit of your knees. Once your legs are hooked, squeeze your heels down towards your bum to lock your knees on the bar. Then listen for the instructor to say, hands off. That's your cue to take your hands off the bar and arch back. When you arch back, see if you can see the other trapeze at the other end of the rig. Next you'll hear hands up, which is your cue to sit back and grab the bar. And legs down, which means bring both legs down in front of you. This is a position you will always return to between tricks, or anytime you are unsure what the instructor is asking you to do. You will notice that the instructors call all the movements at the peaks of the swing. This is because those are the weightless moments of the swing. They are the moments when it will be the easiest and smoothest to execute the movements. We're working with physics here.
Hands off. Hands up. Legs down.
Now that you're back to hanging straight, we need you to come down from the bar somehow. The first dismount you'll learn is called a bullet drop. When the instructor says, "Hep," that's your cue to let go of the bar, then lift your feet a little bit and try to land on your back or bum in the net.
Bullet drop this time. Hep.
Later on in class, we will start working towards another type of dismount, a 3-kick backflip. Before you actually do a backflip, we'll have you practice 3 kicks, forward, backward, and forward. You'll kick with both legs together, hinging at the waist, and all 3 kicks happen during a single swing forward.
After you get the timing down, it'll be time to do the backflip. When your instructor tells you that it's time, you'd listen to their calls. Forward, forward, let go and tuck. At the end of that 3rd kick, you'll let go of the bar and tuck your knees to your chest. If you do this at the right time, the momentum from that kick will carry you over into a backflip. Again, you'll aim to land on your back or your bum in the net. In flying trapeze, we land on our backs, not on our feet.
Once you landed in the net, bounce 2 or more times before you try to stand up. Then walk, stumble, or crawl to the square at the edge of the net.
You'll hold on to the handles with your palms up and roll forward out of the net. Once you're hanging straight, you can let go of the handles and style for applause.
This is what it all looks like together.
Ready? Hop. Legs up. Hands off. Hands up. Legs down. Hang straight for one swing. Backflip this time. Kick forward, back, forward. Again, we're not expecting you to remember all of this on your first turn. Just try your best and we'll go from there.
Think of today's class as a team effort. Your instructors will guide you through every movement. Do your best to do whatever the instructor is asking. If you are not sure what you heard or if you're confused, do nothing. Just stay right there as you are.
Before you take your first turn, be sure to check in with your instructor about any physical circumstances, injuries, or limitations on your ability to climb the ladder, jump off the platform, hang from the bar, or walk across the net. The instructor can work with you to adapt the class to make it safe and enjoyable for everybody.
Remember that this is your class. We're not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. If at any point in time you feel like you don't want to do the movement your instructor called out, just hang straight instead. We'll communicate with you.
And remember, we're not expecting you to do everything on your first try. Just focus on your takeoff and listen for the legs up.